we left a penny.
You what?
Because we ain't not gonna tip, and and then we dip, and because you know what, we don't be like Wale said, who go to IHOP for real.
Shut up!
Yes, sir. Welcome back to another episode of HBCU, the podcast, the show, anything you want it to be, with your host, Hashim the Dream. You already know what it is, and my co-host,
Rising good people, Bobby K here, and our fellow co-host / editor.
While it's not well, y'all.
Let's
all
go.
right, so today we're getting into some hot takes that we got our friends, opinions on. And I'm just going to read it off, get right into it. Quote, asking for $20 for me to drive 15 minutes to go pick up my own takeout food. If I'm paying your employees, I'm on equity share in the profits, and I should be tipping on the service, not the cost of food. Nowhere besides USA, tipping is expected. I don't know about that, but it's even insulting in certain cultures. What's your take on
So
that?
we got a lot to unpack. So we could talk about the U.S. part compared to other cultures later. First off, this example that they use. So I'm a little confused. Maybe y'all can help me out. So asking for $20 tip for me to drive 15 minutes to go pick up my food. So are they saying like if like DoorDash, for example, if they do use the pickup option, they're asked to give like a tip or something? I'm confused.
You're still asked to give a tip. You have to give a tip if you call in store and order and say you go pick up. So think of it the same thing.
So from you guys' perspective, right? If you are picking up food through DoorDash, Uber Eats, whatever the case may be, do you feel like you are inclined to tip?
No.
Oh boy.
You already know I'll be saying no. Or I picked up pizza yesterday. She didn't even expect the tip. But like she gave it. I ordered pizza. I ordered pizza. Right, for a carry out, pick up. I drive 10 minutes. Go pick up my pizza. What other service am I like? I agree with the comment. What other service am I gonna be tipping for? You handing my pizza? If it was the chef that I know is getting the money, sure. Not chef for pizza, but but it's not. And half the time that tip is going to the company.
No, for real. Most of the time, a lot of the time, like if it's not a cash tip, like even like the ones where they have like the 15 or 20% on the thing, like in person, where you click that, that's not really going to the cashier or the people that's actually working. It's going towards the business itself. I don't think personally, if it's a pickup situation, like I'm ordering it through Uber Eats or something and I'm picking it up. No, at that point, I don't think it's necessary to tip because I'm doing the work itself to go and get the food and bring it back.
Okay.
However, if it is delivery, like especially like late night, like I like doing late night deliveries sometimes. Like, I get hungry, it's late nights, midnight, whatever. I want to get some food. It's not a lot of stuff that's open, especially in Long Island, it's not a lot of stuff open compared to like the city. Yeah, like at that point, like if the person's driving, it could be whether it's raining sometimes or whatever the case may be. At that point, if they're delivering the food directly to my house, yeah, I'm inclined to give them some type of tip, some type of gratuity. However, I will say that I don't think you should give them significant tip if the delivery or the service is poor. If they don't deliver it, if they don't follow instructions, if you say, oh, put this by the mailbox and they leave your damn food on the ground, which has happened, even though there's a whole mailbox with like a space to put the food, you still put it on the cold ass ground. At that point, yeah, you're not getting like a $5-10 tip at that point. You're cooked.
I have two things to say to that. One, you give, especially for DoorDash, you have the ability, which I think is also kind of ridiculous. You have the ability to tip before they deliver the food. They actually ask for the
and I never like doing that.
Food, which makes
it
doesn't make sense because what if in that example they take something, they open your bag, take some of your fries, stomp on the food while they leave by the door, and be like, "All right, good looks, bro. I just made extra $10 tip, and I got a free meal."
That is why and the only time I've noticed, well, I can't speak for DoorDash, but Uber Eats, the only time I noticed where they ask you to tip before the actual delivery is when it's like late as hell or when it's like bad weather, like it's snowing or some shit outside. But I agree with you, Hashim. I do not tip before I get my food. And then based on if they follow the instructions, will determine how much tip I give them in the first place.
And second thing before I let Wale go, I was called a monster in the hot take video when I said I didn't tip for this particular action.
You are a monster because you say you are a monster.
I gave the example for the food. Did I not?
No. You're not. We're not doing revisionist history. You said you don't tip. Period. That's what you said.
No, I said I said I could go back to the video, bro. I said if I'm in a restaurant, yes, I'm tipping the waitress and waiter depending on the service, right? I'm not automatically giving 30% tip, and you showed up to my table once, right?
Okay, fair.
But if I'm going to pick up the food, I'm not tipping because all you did was hand me the food.
But we're not talking about just pickup. You said even if it was delivery, you're not tipping. You even said if we take,
I didn't say that. I said I don't tip my Uber drivers. I did say I don't tip my Uber drivers. 100% did. I still don't.
Which is crazy because they're presenting a service to you. Why would you not tip your driver? They're getting you there safely. Why would you not tip them?
I thanked them. I said thank you. I appreciate it.
But but you're not a monster for that. All right, I feel you. Wale.
I agree with you said, Bobby, about if the service like coming to your house and your food is on the ground when you said you need it on the mailbox and whatnot, you don't deserve a tip. I don't think people need to tip excessively either. Like going to Chipotle yourself, picking up your food, you don't need to tip. Who are you tipping? Like it's. I don't know what you're tipping
Chipotle.
For. The ambiance or I don't know what it is you're tipping for, but the part about not tipping your Uber driver, listen.
Hey, we're talking about food right now. We're talking about food.
That's insane. No, mention the Uber.
We're talking about food, bro. We're talking about food. Keep on tab. All right, I got a question for you, Wally. Sorry to cut you off.
Go ahead.
I want to stay on topic. Before we get into the differences in culture and tipping, say you're in a restaurant, right? And you get I've been in IHOP once. Decent sized group, 7, 8 people. First we had to wait like half an hour for a table. Okay, not bad. It's not the waiter's fault, not the waitress' fault. We get to our table, we get a couple orders. Took an hour for them to take our order.
No tip.
It's not that she's busy, because two new tables came by, and she was servicing those tables, having casual conversation with them. And then she came back. We had to go get her, or ask another waitress to get her to come to our table. We didn't get no water refills, and barely any like, oh, you guys need anything, blah blah. What you guys doing?
He was not messing with y'all at
all. I'll tell you what we did at the end, but what are you guys doing?
I mean, I'm not tipping. I'll tell you that much. First off, I really like to find myself in IHOP, period, but I'm not tipping.
That was years ago. That was in college.
Okay.
Just celebrate after final. So.
And y'all still chose IHOP?
The last time I went to IHOP,
bro, we're in college.
I was with Wale.
Yeah.
Wale, we went to IHOP like a couple years ago.
To my dismay. I immediately was like, why IHOP, y'all? And y'all were like, oh, why not?
Yeah.
Whatever.
Don't say y'all. The people that we was with wanted to go.
What would you guys do? Wale said no tip. What did you do, Bobby?
I feel like if it's like a group like that, I would still give them something. I would just make it a very petty tip. Like I would give them like $1 a piece or something like that, because like they're still doing a service. It's just a poor service. So I don't think you should not give them anything, but I don't think you should give them something that is significant or something that is like, oh, this is me showing my appreciation for your service. This is like, no, this is like an obligatory like here nigga damn type.
Hey,
the reason why I wouldn't even give a pay because I'm gonna still treat you with respect. I'm not gonna show attitude or whatnot. I just know once I get my food, they be like, oh, anything else? Just give me the check and I'll be out. I'm still polite. I can do what I gotta do. I'm out. You're not getting nothing. And I'm not a petty tip, $1. Man, I'm gonna go to the nearest store and get an Arizona. I know they're more than $1 now, but that could be useful. Damn it! I'm not giving them a petty tip. The hell?
The Arizona is more useful than giving it.
Hell yeah!
More use of his money. Well, I'll let you know what we did. Because we ain't not gonna tip, and and then we dip, and because you know what, we don't be like Wale said, who go to IHOP for real.
You was talking about my dollar, and y'all left a penny.
I didn't say nothing about your dollar.
A penny though?
I didn't say nothing about
this
that.
Man that disappeared.
Bro, why we go IHOP and stay there 3.5 hours and barely get our food? While she chatting to the table right next to us. That came after us.
Wait. So you gave a penny, like all of y'all combined gave 1 penny. That's what y'all saying.
I don't know if all of us combined gave 1 penny or each person did. But
at that point, why give anything? Like what?
The show. The service was doo-doo butt cheeks.
And then Wale, he says that, and then wonders why I call him a monster. So he don't tip his Uber driver. Did
that service not deserve said penny?
Bro, just go leave.
No, you're gonna learn this lesson.
They'll learn without giving them anything.
Because now they got something to talk about. You believe this?
They have something to talk about with the penny.
No. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Oh.
With no tip, they'd be like, damn, that table didn't tip me. No. Now they go back and be like, oh, they tipped me a penny.
Wow.
And you felt good about yourself.
And now let's get to the other section
please.
Tipping in other cultures. I know you guys are well-traveled people. Especially Wale
is.
In different countries, how's the tipping aspect? Do you guys tip? Do you tip more because you're on vacation? Just because you're more willing to spend more money on vacation? How's it go?
So for me, I've only been out of the country one time to Jamaica. This was a few years back. This was kind of like, I know this is in 2021. fellow Jamaican here on the podcast, but this was right after COVID, so it was still kind of COVID adjacent, so to speak. So it was still kind of closed off. We was on a resort. And so it really wasn't opportunities per se to tip per se, because everything was kind of inclusive, like the food and everything like that. So we never really went off of the resort because nothing was open because of everything kind of being closed off and closed down. Even the entertainment on the resort was closed off by midnight. So I don't know how it would have been if we tried to like go to like somewhere to a restaurant or something and try to tip, how it would have been. But for me, the way I look at it is if you're going to outside the country or going to different cultures and stuff, and you are indulging in their culture, in their food, or whatever the case may be, I would say it's best to offer the tip. Now, if they reject it or don't want to accept it because it's not part of said culture, so be it. But I would still present it to them. But I would be careful because, natives of certain cultures can tell when people are tourists and are not from there. So if you pull out money and people notice it, just have your head on a swivel, because you can very easily become a lick.
Yeah.
And if you don't know what a lick is, basically you could get robbed. So that's how I look at it.
I would like to say that you still could tip an all-inclusive. Well, you don't drink, so I guess that aspect is out. You got it.
Exactly.
You got away with this one.
Yeah, thank you, Monster. But yeah, Wale, what do you think?
Like you said, you're divulging. Divulging in other cultures. Like you're having fun or enjoying their scenery, what their lives like. You're delving into what they deal with every day in a more luxurious manner. So yeah, I'd say tip with moderation, and also like especially if they're like on an inclusive resort, they're going out of the way to be very respectful and resourceful and friend. There's no harm in giving them tips, especially like for me, like if like I went to St. Lucia, there's a handful of workers who I'm like, yo, my guy, good to see you. You still want to be slick with the tipping because not you don't want everyone to know you got money. Like build a repertoire. That's your person. No, you don't tip the whole country. Don't do that.
So when you did tip, right?
Mhm.
Did you tip with U.S. currency or did you tip with their currency?
U.S.
Because that's another thing. U.S.
Yeah.
The reason I ask is because I feel like if you do like outside cultures or countries, if you tip with U.S. currency and you're pulling out like U.S. money, because U.S. money is typically more valuable, that could make you more susceptible to possibly people trying to, be sketchy around you, so to speak, compared to if it's their own money, then, they don't know how much. I mean, they know how much, but I'm saying like they can't really tell how much it really is worth, so to speak, if that makes sense.
Just again, keep your head on a swivel. Know the currency conversion because you can tipping is one thing, but if you like, oh yeah, I'll tip you $20, you didn't need to tip $20. You could have just tipped them like five or three, and they would have got enough in their own currency, like probably more than
Hmm.
enough. So use your head.
You should also, if you
I
go
know
to,
Hashim. Oh, good.
I say, if you go to a different country, you should also change some money into whatever the currency is.
Mm.
Uh,
Yeah,
because
I
not
agree.
every place in that country is U.S. dollar friendly. Right, go ahead, Bobby. Question.
No, so I was going to ask you specifically because I know you went to Japan not too long ago, and you had mentioned how in their culture it's like offensive to like tip them. So like how did you like figure that out?
I've done a lot of research before I went to Japan, just culture wise, because it's a very culture heavy country, I believe.
Hmm.
And as we had a decent, like five people, but we're like five, we're all like Hispanic or black, so obviously they know we're not from the country.
Mhm.
So I just want to be as respectful to the culture, enjoy the culture, and not be disrespectful. Like if we go to temples or any other places here. And as for the tipping, I was like, I bet. Uh, music to my ears. But when I do
Right up
no
your
no no
alley,
no
huh?
no no when I do go on vacation, they actually I do tip pretty good because they actually do provide a good service, the service that's needed.
Wait, so you can tip in
So
Japan?
you
No, I'm not talking about Japan. I'm talking about
Okay. I'm about to say.
I
Okay.
tipped once in Japan.
I know.
Uh,
We know you didn't.
yeah, yeah.
wait a minute. So you're more willing to tip outside of the country than here itself?
Well, like I said, I'm more willing to spend money on vacation than normal day to day thing because
So
I have a
so you're
particular
cheaper here.
budget. I have a particular budget when I go on vacation. I'm like, all right, I expect to spend this much money. Not that I'm going to reach that by just tipping people. No, if I'm far from it, I cool. I could give this person if
Afford
they
to
do it.
tip. Yeah.
Yeah, if they give like really good service and they're really nice, give us some places to go to within the country and stuff like that. I'm like, oh yeah, you're really cool. Here's something. Blah blah. Have a good conversation. That deserves a good tip. And I give it in their
So
currency if I'm if I have it. Yeah, I usually do. Yeah.
So it sounds like, based on what you're saying, it sounds like you're either A, more willing to give tip to outside cultures than here, or B, the service to foreigners and outside cultures is better than the service you get here.
100%.
It's the latter?
Yeah, 100%. You ever been to Popeyes?
Okay. Of course. Plenty.
Oh yeah, that service is. Woo. It's an
Horrible.
experience.
To
But
say the least.
I feel like since it's taken for granted here that no matter what I do, this is my perspective. No matter what I do, I'm still gonna get some sort of tip, right?
Pause.
Whether and
No, not necessarily.
no,
Wale,
and look,
I'm not doing it.
and now the percentage of tip is like it goes 18, 20, 25, right?
Mm-hmm.
So even if I get
Right.
the lowest amount and you spend what, like $1,000, I'm dragged it. I'm getting $180.
But it is. I don't think it's automatic that you get a tip just because like
It's
it's presented, because like you said, if you're getting picking up food at fast food at a
but
cashier or whatever, you're not typically tipping the cashier.
but I'm saying like you go to a restaurant, right? Like I'll
Okay.
tip, but you know how there's 18, 20, 25. And depending
Mm-hmm.
on it's really supposed to be depending on how you think you got served or if you're a really generous person.
Oh, you follow the percentage?
Yeah. What do you tip, Bobby?
Oh. I feel like is like you said, it's based off of the service and it's
Yeah.
based off of the group of people that's there. So
There's two people. So
if
it's you and
it's
your girl.
like it's just me and my girl and we going out and we spend, let's say, $100
Mm-hmm.
and the service was really good,
Yeah.
then we could probably tip maybe $20. You know what I'm
20%?
saying? Like 10 a piece.
Okay.
Huh?
That's a 20%? Okay.
Yeah.
But that's part of the
But
recommendation.
yeah, but I don't really base it off of the percentage per se, because like I said, like if it's a bigger group, like they're calculating that percentage per person. So at that point for me, it's like, nah, like if it's like 20, like for the brunch like we did for your birthday recently in Miami, it was like 20 of us at a table.
Yeah.
And the service was okay. It wasn't like amazing. So at that point, I feel like, okay, like everyone
Yeah.
contributes like what, $5 or so, $7 a piece. That should be sufficient enough, right?
Yeah. Also about that, gratuity was already added. And they
that's
put that in
something I
fine
don't
print
like.
too. If you have a
Yes.
group of like 6 or more, the gratuity is already added. 18% gratuity is already added. So that's guaranteed. No matter what the service, it could be booty butt cheeks, and they're getting 18% of that large group.
But then you're still expected to tip in addition to that already guaranteed gratuity.
You're not.
So that's
I don't think you're. Nope.
At that times like that where I'm just like, no, we don't need to give tip at that, but no.
They still give the option to, but you really at that time you just like, I already give the gratuity.
Unless we really fuck with you, I'm not adding more to that. You're good.
Nah. No.
So Wale, what do you go off of percentage, or do you go more more so off of this?
It's the quality.
So it's not just
service.
me, okay.
Hell no! What the fuck?
But that's why I say at the percentages, if I get like, I got normal service, I'll do the 18 or 15%, right?
Yeah, sure.
If it's extraordinary, I'll give you 28%. You know, depending on what the bill like.
And the quality of the food too. Low key.
I mean, that's not their fault though. That's not their fault.
That got nothing to do with the service. Though.
That's. If I tell you this, if the food was cold, and they're like, well, I can't do anything about it. You know, go take that back to the chef, get me a new plate, and make that free. Not make it free, but sometimes they'd be like, all right, it's off the bill. I'm like, I mess with you, you know.
Yo, I'm not gonna lie. Hearing Hashim talk, I would hate to be his waiter because he just seems like a demon.
No,
he don't want to tip nobody.
That's a lie. If you give normal service, you're gonna get tipped. If you don't do nothing, you don't do your job. What am I tipping? The imaginary person giving me water. I might as well
give you your food. They give you water.
After an hour and a half.
That hour and a half is crazy.
I was just inside there for heat at that point.
And you were in college too. Yeah.
I was just chilling, having a conversation.
That's
it was
a bar at that point.
Nah.
That's a bar at that point.
If you give normal service, and this is specifically talking about dining in, give normal service, you gotta get tip. If you give really good service, you're really nice, ask us like we ask, you're good with allergens, you're really attentive, then you gotta get a bigger tip. You actually put in the work. If you come in with a bad attitude, what you want? Another waiter. That's what I'm on.
What do you want?
So, I'm pretty fair person. Uber driver is a different story. We're talking about food. I'm pretty fair person.
How is it different? They're providing a service.
We're talking about food.
I don't get that.
We're talking about food.
We'll discuss that another time. But okay, so to wrap it up, so do you guys feel like tipping is an issue? Do you still believe in? Oh, I already know Hashim said.
I think it's out of control.
Oh, here we go,
bro. Why are they flipping the screen, asking for my signature after I pay for energy drink? 10, 15, 20% tip for what? I say it again. All you did was take my order. You didn't even do anything. What am I tipping? No tip. And you know what they do sometimes? They said 10, 15%, 18%. That's it. Bust them. $0. No, bro.
Or do you give a penny? Penny for your thoughts.
I don't give a penny. Only that one person. They deserve that one. They earned that one. They earned that.
I think people overthink tipping, and I feel like it should just be based off of what you feel. I think if the service, in terms of like if they're actually doing a particular service, like a waiter or waitress, or if they're delivering food to you, yes, like if they do a decent job, give them a tip, give them $5, $10, whatever that you're able to, because everyone has different budgets as well that we didn't factor in. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I got frugal budget, so I can't get. I can only give you what I got, and some people don't even carry cash like that, so that's a whole nother thing. So, based on if you carry cash, if you got $5 on you, whatever the case may be, bless them with something. But if you just a cashier and you just, like you say, give me an energy drink, give me a Cordoba bowl, a Mexican bowl, whatever the case may be, sweetheart, respectfully, thank you for your service. And keep it moving. You wilding at that point, like Hashim said, 20%. You're wilding. You're doing too much. You got way too much dip on your chip, sweetheart.
All right, guys.
So just be mindful.
All right.
Yeah, so, go ahead.
We're done here.
Yeah. And just for food for the audience's thoughts. Damn, it just slipped my mind. It's something that Bobby said. It just slipped my mind. So if you don't have it, you can't order food. You can't order takeout if you don't have a tip. If you're not able to afford a tip, you can't order takeout.
That's a good point.
But that's not able to tip.
Then why are you ordering food,
bro? They can order food. They're not willing to tip an additional 15%.
So wait a minute. So you can order a $20 meal, but you can't give a $5 tip? That's crazy work, bro.
Some people only got $20. Bro, I'll leave the audience with this, Wale. I know. I'll leave the audience with this. And Bobby, don't say anything after. In college, I ordered the pizza. They delivered the pizza. I say thank you. Close the door. But I will leave a good review. That's what I would do. Bro, I'm in college. I'm broke. I feel like at that point, giving a $2 tip is disrespectful. And thank you guys for watching. Make sure you follow us on all our social media: TikTok, Instagram, Spotify. And let us know your thoughts. Drop it in the comments. DM us if you want to be a guest on the podcast.
Yeah.
And we out.